You ever feel like you can't control your destiny? Everything happens to you, and that there's very little you can do about whatever happens on a daily basis. If you feel like you easily get stressed out about things that constantly occur and happen, and events and incidents and things that other people do to you or they don't do to you or for you, if you feel like you constantly get stuck in ruts of your own behavior, you constantly say the same things that are toxic, negative, self-destructive, if you feel like it's virtually impossible for you to take ownership over your life, what you must understand is that you're running the wrong program. You are running the wrong code. And it is time now for you to press delete and rewrite the code. Reality is we all have a code we go by. That being accidental, bestowed upon you, or created by yourself, you are running a code. Much like a software of any kind, there is a code running in the back. That's why the software knows what to do whenever you press that same button over and over again. It's a code, it's a protocol, it's an algorithm, whatever you want to call it. In our lives, it's not all that different. Whenever a certain series of events gets triggered, we usually respond the same way over and over and over again. The good news is that by doing so, you can expect the same results every time. And the reason why we do that is very simple. We cannot consume that much CPU or cognitive power controlling and assessing every single little situation of our lives. We are too busy trying to survive. So the human brain is wired to find routines so you can trust them and trust the result every single time. The issue is when that goes wrong. And it goes wrong. Often you find yourself realizing that the outcome, that same outcome that you always achieve, is the wrong one. It's not the one you want. It's not the one you need. So how do you change the outcome if you're constantly running the same experiment? As the wise man said, the definition of madness is to run the same experiment and expect different results. I would agree. The reality is that if you don't change the parameters, why would the result change? It's pretty binary, it's pretty mathematical. 2 plus 2 is 4, and that's that. Now if you want it to be 5, one of those numbers has to be a 3. That's the thing. You have to change something. So how do you change the course of your life? You have to change the code. So next time, when you're looking at that same thing that triggers a sequence of events, change those events. But more importantly, because you don't want to randomly change things and kind of go into this sort of reckless behavioral change process, you have to decide beforehand exactly what the changes will be. So find something in your life that is not going so well. Find something in your life that makes you feel like you're stuck in a rut. Now take a few steps back and ask yourself, okay, how do I get myself in this situation? Maybe it's a relationship thing. Maybe you end up always finding the same guys because, well, you are looking for the same guy over and over again, expecting that you can change them, expecting that they will change for you, expecting to see change in another human being because that will show you and the world that you are worth changing for. I'm not saying you're not, but that's not a good plan, is it? How about finding the person that will help you change yourself? Now that's a better plan. Look for the person that will change the code. This might not be a relationship problem, might be a professional problem. Maybe you always get stuck in terrible jobs. Maybe you're always getting fired. Is it really all the boss's fault? Probably not. Run the program. and you'll see that the outcome will always be the same. So you must change the code. You must practice by yourself, with your friends, with your family, new steps. So you must open your mind. You can't stay in that shell of your own self-belief. In fact, step number 1 to rewrite the code is to explore a new belief system. Just assume that whatever you believe in now is just not working. Go the opposite way. Be humble enough to realize that what you believe in is not necessarily valuable, not even to yourself. So you must change, and for that you must be radical. You must be aggressive. Not angry necessarily, but you must be aggressive with the approach. So I suggest that you go the other way, you try the opposite, and see what happens. Stay on that course for 12 months. And then, maybe then, you'll be able to realize that some of the things you left behind when it comes to your belief system were actually valuable, and you want to keep them. You want to bring them back, and that's more than fine. And then assess again how bringing those back affects the outcomes. So if you want the program to change, if you want the outcome to change, the results to be different, your life to change, you must understand that you must take ownership over the code you're running in the back, and that you are responsible for the viruses in your system. It's time to rewrite the code.